Welcome back, party people. You are listening to Crossplay, our video game podcast here at the Whatnauts. It is Saturday, March 13th, 2021, and coming up on today's show, Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda is finally complete. The PS5 is now the fastest-selling console in US history for dollar sales, and EA has launched an investigation into allegations of employees selling FIFA 21 Ultimate Team items on the side. We will dive into all of that and more in just a bit. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Alan Busby.
Hi, and look, I'm the only one that's here.
It's just you and me, dude.
It's just us.
It is, yeah. Let's see, Gino is away this weekend. He is at the first, I think it's the first playoff game of the FCF, the fan-controlled football league.
I think so.
He's out there watching that. And then Ignacio, he's a man of mystery.
Yeah,
I don't actually know what he's up to, but he was like, yeah, I can't make it this week. So me and Alan.
Honestly, Ignacio is, I'm starting to think he's a practicing magician on the side, because he David Copperfields himself sometimes. He's just well, and then we're like, Ignacio, where are you at? And he's, a magician never reveals his secrets, he once told me. I can't confirm that, but he told me that.
Yeah. There you go.
He's a man of mystery, the international man of mystery.
Exactly. But what about you? What have you been up to this week, Alan?
So I've been doing a little bit of everything this week. I still stream as normal. It turns out, I mentioned it before we were recording that I have my left eye is sore. And when I initially started getting my sore eye, I made the joke that while we were sleeping, Amy punched me in my sleep. That's why my eye hurts. Not actually true, but it's a good little side story. Be like, man, what happened to your eye? I went to bed and I just got the shit kicked out of me. I just...
Whenever I fake threatens someone, I'm just like, I'm gonna punch you in your sleep, and they're all just like, wait, what?
Yeah,
why? It's like, because I don't want you fighting back, okay?
Yeah,
Jeez.
It works. And the trick is, you wait till they're in the deepest stage of REM sleep so they can't actually fight back. That's what you do.
Bam.
When they're in deepest part of REM and you hit them, they're in REM. They're not going to know what's happening. They're going to experience that in their dream, and they're going to be like, man, I had such a crazy dream. Then be like, man, what happened to my eye? My eye hurts.
They won't know what hit them. Literally.
So yeah, they literally won't. So yeah, that happened. Other than that, earlier this week at the comic shop, Amy bought a board game called Magical Kitties, because we're big cat fans.
Magical Kitties!
And it turns out this game is a lot like D&D, but with cats. So, I never really got into D&D because I don't have the imagination for D&D, unfortunately. But this one works out better because being a huge cat man myself, playing a game based around being a cat with an owner, mind you, is right up my alley. So I'll give you this little sneak peek. My cat, I gave him the amazing backstory of being an alley cat where he lives out on the streets and he's rough and he's tough. And it turns out when I get adopted by an owner against my will, so I'm forced to live with a human, but I sneak out, and I can't tell you my cat's true name because in my backstory, I don't tell anybody my true name. But my owner named me Snickers.
Okay. There you go.
The only other one great thing I want to give you is that this game is pretty great in the fact that you get to pick like a talent, a magical power, and then a flaw. And I was kind of iffy on magical powers until I saw that a JoJo reference, I have the ability to freeze time. So right now I can freeze time for up to 1 minute to everyone except myself.
Freezing time isn't exclusive to JoJo.
That's true.
That's a pretty common thing.
It's true, but if you've watched JoJo Part 3, you know the meme of stopping time, of freezing time around you. It's great.
But I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with JoJo.
And then my
Bizarre Adventure.
All of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And then my friend made a cat.
Doctor Who? There's just a new JoJo?
Pretty much actually. Yeah, there's a different JoJo every season.
Something new.
Every season there's a new JoJo. But yeah, my friend made a cat too, and I don't think it fully clicked right away that we were making cats. So he made his cat. He named him the elegant name of Chad. He's Chad.
Chad is a good cat name.
It's a cat name.
Chad, what are you doing? Stop that! Don't do that, Chad.
And apparently he's a tuxedo cat, and he is a. Hang on, I gotta look at this. I'm pulling out a note to let you know. His backstory is that he watched too many World War II war videos, and occasionally he will give you a 100% random World War II fact.
Okay.
So he's a cat.
Does sound like a Chad.
So he's a cat who thinks he's a World War II survivor named Chad.
Weird.
So yeah, that's what?
A while back, Melissa and I, for a Patreon exclusive thing, rolled D&D characters. I've never played it in my life, or all of that stuff, or some game like it. But
yeah,
we were like, let's just make characters, because that would be fun, and we can come up with the backstory and stuff like that. I don't remember exactly what mine was off the top of my head, but I know that they were they spoke like they were from New York, and they had smoked 6 packs a day. So he was always talking like this, So it's just like, hey, my name is Kyle, and I host the Crossplay,
It makes me think the cat's like a mafia, like, hey, yo, Tony, we're trying to sit here and make some.
Get over here.
We're trying to make some money.
We're talking about the video games. The video games, Tony. Have you heard of them? The Marios and the Luigis.
See, that's how I know you really enjoyed Sopranos.
I still have to finish the last 2 seasons of that show.
That's how I know you're really hitting your stride with the Sopranos.
Get over here, Tony.
You got the accent down. That reminds me, I haven't played too many video games this week, but I have been watching a lot of Kitchen Nightmares on YouTube with Gordon Ramsay.
Oh man.
I've been watching a lot of those, so I have the British lingo and the words stuck in my head.
There you go.
So I know it's an old show. It's from it's on Hulu, and it was from 2011 or something, but
right,
man, yeah. God, I love Gordon Ramsay yelling at people. It's like a new obsession. It's like, oh, what are you listening to today? Are you learning anything? No. Oh, so what kind of music do you listen to? Nothing. I'm listening to Kitchen Nightmares at work all day.
Wild.
So yeah, I mean, it's a great show. But yeah, I haven't played too many games this week. Monster Hunter Rise has a new demo that came out on Thursday that I haven't played yet. They added a new monster that apparently is kicking everyone's ass, apparently.
Ooh, there you go.
I have not played that yet. I was going to play it later today. But Kyle, you've actually played some games, unlike me, because I guess I'm the fake gamer this week.
Yeah, I played a little bit, so I finally finished up Sunset Overdrive. Got done with that on stream. They faked me out. They have a fake ending.
Oh.
And then it's like, psych, that's not the ending. Here we go. Here's the real one. And then they redo the final cutscene. And they got me. I was like, that's it? That's how this ends? This is dumb. I was like, this is so bad. And then it was like, that's how we're gonna end the game? No. That's not how. I was just like, oh, fuck, okay. Yeah, because
you're sitting there in bewilderment. You're like, I wanted more. Boom.
Kind of, yeah. So I mean, I guess spoilers for the ending, but I'm also not going to spoil the ending.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the credits start to roll, and you think it all went down a certain way, and then once the credits start to roll for 15 or 20 seconds, the main character walks out on screen. Is like, that's it? That's the end of the game? This was horrible. No, we need to do this again. Let's get a better ending. And then it rewinds and then does the end cutscene.
So pretty much it kind of ends in a not satisfying way, then it just like kind of like the meme of like someone getting hurt and it's like you're probably wondering how I got here, and then it rewinds to show you.
Kind of.
Wow.
Yeah.
So since you finished Sunset Overdrive, like how are your final thoughts on it? Like because you've been a little bit kind of iffy on it these past couple weeks playing through it.
Yeah. To be honest, my thoughts haven't really changed much. I like what they were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they nailed it.
Oh.
I do think by the end of the game, I was a lot better at the traversal. It did feel more natural, but I think like I was saying last week, it does kind of still feel restrictive because you have to grind on certain things or you have to jump on certain things. And so it's just like you can't really go wherever you want. You kind of have to go where it wants you to go.
Yeah.
So it holds you back a little bit, but by the end of the game, you're totally fine.
So when you say you got a handle of the, like you kind of had a better time with the controls, is that because it took you almost the whole game to adjust to everything, or because you unlocked abilities that made traversal better?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
So I didn't really do all the side missions in this. I golden pathed it.
Okay.
And so I'm sure there are other power-ups and abilities and stuff like that that would have been like, oh, this makes things so much better.
Yeah.
But I just took the basic things that the game gives you.
Yeah.
I think I only bought new guns once.
Ooh. So you pretty much just raw dogged the playthrough.
Basically, yeah. But like it worked, and by the end of the game I was like, oh, so if I like combo this thing with that thing and then I jump off of that thing and then hit this button to like, it eventually gives you this power to do like a single mid-air a single mid-air dash.
Yeah. Kind of similar to like Spider-Man's kind of like web zip just to get like forward momentum.
Yeah, or in control when you're flying up and they have that like dodge.
Yeah. Okay.
Move there. Yeah. It's a lot like that, and that helped to string things along as well as make it so I don't have to hit everything. I can jump off of something and then zoom forward and then get on something else, rather than like, well, I can only jump this far, so I hope there's something, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was fine.
So last thing about Sunset Overdrive then. So since you finished the game, how does the idea of like a Sunset Overdrive 2 sit? Like, are you like, I really want to see how they would improve upon this? Or are you like, you know what, this was a good like kind of one and done idea?
I think it was kind of a good one and done, to be honest. I don't think I need a second one because the story is real flimsy. It's kind of ridiculous, but that is also part of the charm of the game. Like it does feel arcadey in the way that you are destroying all of these bad guys and stuff, like all of these mutant monsters that have have drank the
it's a drink, right?
Drink. Yeah. It turns them into that stuff. And there's you've seen in like zombie games where they have certain ones that when you shoot them they pop and there's like smaller things inside them and all that stuff. This game has that, and when they pop, the like blood and energy drink inside them spells out the word pop.
Oh,
when they explode. So they're
almost kind of like the comic style, like Bam or Pows.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. So as you're like killing things, you like pop, and there's explosions and stuff. So it's really fun. But I don't know if I need more than that.
More of that? Do you feel like if the Sunset Overdrive 2 like had a more constructive story, but the gameplay was only slightly improved, do you think that would make it better? Or do you think they should just, like, hypothetically, if there was a second one, should they just hammer in the gameplay and just kind of tack on the story? Or should they focus more on story?
Eh, I to be honest, I feel like it's just an early open world game, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like that's what
Okay.
it feels like. It didn't really make the side content interesting or make
Yeah.
me want to go play it.
Yeah.
To the point where I was just like, I'm not going to do any of these. I'm just going to go do the story stuff. Um, so that's kind of why I didn't explore every nook and cranny
Yeah.
and all the power ups and stuff like that. But it was fine. That was
Okay.
it.
All right.
But besides
Well,
that, I got to play Halo ODST for the first time.
so you're finally on ODST now.
And I beat it. Actually, I played
Like you
all this
started and
week.
finished it?
Yes, sir.
Holy cow.
Started it, finished it. Gonna move on to the next one at some point. But yeah, so this is the only Bungie Halo game that I had not played up until now. Because I remember when it came out, I understood it as, oh, it's a side story, so you
Yeah,
don't
like a
really
spin-off
need
story
it.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not Master Chief, so you don't really need it. Um, and yeah, I think that would be my thought on this game. You don't really need it. It's a side story. They did try to do some interesting things with it. It was a neat experiment, but yeah, just at the end of the day, I just not one of my favorites of the Halo franchise.
Yeah.
Um, but I've been trying to play through them all before Halo Infinite comes out. So
But
slowly
like
but surely making my way with that one.
wouldn't ODST be great though because it does expand kind of the lore in the world though, or is it really like that
Yes.
insignificant though?
So I like it because of that. I like when it explores like I think they really do have a world there where they can tell other stories.
Yeah.
Um, they haven't really explored them all that much, and when they
Mm-hmm.
have, it hasn't been all that it hasn't been all that great.
Yeah.
Um, I think my favorite Halo like non-game media is the Hunt the Truth podcast. If they did 2 seasons of that, and season 2 wasn't all that good. I didn't like it. But season 1 of that show is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Okay.
It still focuses on Master Chief, but it's not following him. It's
Yeah.
following like it's this investigative journalist basically uncovering the story of Master Chief and who he is and what happened to him. And he's supposed to just be doing this like puff piece, right? Of like, oh,
Okay.
Master Chief, our hero. Like, we just need to like worship him and praise him because he's so wonderful.
So instead of like I'm assuming ODST focuses not on Chief, but then what this is it's focusing on the lore and story of Chief himself.
Yeah, so the podcast is more focused on who he is and what he's up to now, or I guess right before the events of Halo 5.
Okay.
But it dives into the whole backstory of like, oh, he was kidnapped as a child and replaced with a clone and all of that stuff. And there's this big conspiracy that the military was kidnapping children and replacing them, and these clones that they were replacing them with didn't live long. They got sick and died. And so that was the thing of like, well, your child got sick and died. We don't know who this guy is, though. Oh, well,
See, now that sounds real. That like I like that good mystery.
Yeah.
Like that sounds good.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it was the main character, the investigative journalist, I believe was voiced by Keegan-Michael Key.
Oh.
Yeah, so they had some good talent on that. I loved it. We actually, me and Paul, who was the co-creator here at the Whatnauts, we covered Hunt the Truth on the Whatnauts podcast way back in the day, which was our first kind of iteration of the review show.
Okay.
So
So
it was good stuff, but
the the blueprint to the review show to what it is now.
Yes, it's
Nice.
the exact same thing, except we were just like, we want to change the name to be more. This is what we do on the show. We
Yeah.
review things, so
Okay.
it's the review
Well,
show.
nice.
But yeah. So Halo ODST follows. I guess they're not Spartans, but they are other, I guess, like specialized elite members of the military. I believe it's orbital drop shock trooper, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, it's this story that they are being sent down to Earth basically on this suicide mission, and the drop goes wrong and they all get scattered and split up, and the main character doesn't wake up for 6 hours. And in those 6 hours, the rest of your team is out there doing things. And so you, as the main character, are trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
And so you play as like the main dude. And then when you find some clue as to what happened, it does a flashback of like, oh, now you get to play the part of the thing that ended up like this. So it's a neat story, but yeah, it's not essential.
I mean, that's still a cool concept. I mean, it's as you mentioned earlier to me, of like, it's kind of standard. Those similar stories of like, oh, what happened? Then you slowly piece it together. But it's cool how as you're playing it, I assume your cutscenes, some of them are like, hey, ooh, a cutscene, flashback. And I assume you get to play those flashbacks, right?
Yes.
See, that's cool.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that was that. But next up is Halo Reach. So I'm going to go back to the very beginning and do the prequel. So
how many do you have till you're done? You have Reach and
4
Halo,
and 5.
4 and okay, so you have 3 more to get through.
Yep. Yeah.
You got plenty of time.
ODST. Yeah. So I'm excited because since I've gotten Game Pass, that was one of the things I wanted to do, is replay Halo and then replay all the Gears games and catch up on the ones that I missed. So.
All right. Well, cool. Well, hey, I mean, you're almost done. If there's all those Halo games, you only got 3 left. At least ODST didn't take you very long to get through.
Not at all. They're pretty short, to be honest. So,
well, good.
Let's see. The last thing I want to say before we get into housekeeping is I've been watching a bunch of streams. Just while I've been setting things to render on the computer.
Nice.
Last night I got to watch Snowbike Mike and Andy Cortez play some Valorant.
Ooh.
I've been watching them play Warzone during the day and stuff like that. And I don't know, man. I kind of want to get into a game like that.
I'm specifically Warzone or Valorant, or something similar to it?
Not specifically, but something similar. Like maybe Warzone, maybe Valorant. I'm sure I'd suck at both of them, or like. I mean,
Warzone.
Apex,
I believe, is free. So if you get into Warzone, it's not going to cost you anything. So
it is free. Apex is free as well. But yeah, I need something like that, and I know. Coming up down the road, I know it was Outriders is the one that's
that's the one that like came out. It's in like beta right now.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of getting into that one when it comes out, but it's on my radar more than it was back when like a few months ago when it was not on my radar at all.
At least now it's a blip on there.
Yeah, it's a blip, but like. I think if this was a normal year, I still don't know if I would play that one. But there's just nothing coming out. And so I'm like, I need something. Give me a new good game. I want to play something.
Well, because usually in the past, we would still get like a big AAA game like in January, like the end of January. Because like before we had Resi 7 one year in January, we had Kingdom Hearts 3 in January.
Yeah.
We haven't really had that this year. At least on my radar, the next biggest game that comes out is at the end of March. So January and February have been fairly free all year.
Yeah. So I've thankfully gotten to play a few things, and I think this will be a good, interesting year for indie games, like for smaller stuff. Like I think that's what we're gonna end up having to play. and or not not even having to play them, but like
Because they'll be out there.
yeah, like that's the space we're going to be exploring, and I think a
Yeah.
lot of people are going to realize that there's a lot of good indie games out there, and you can kind of pick and choose what you want to
Yeah.
play. You know, it's not
Well,
it's not just like this is the only indie game out right now.
Well,
Go play it.
you said you've been watching some streams. I also have I've been watching some streams these last couple of weeks. The two they're not that huge. They're not like kind of funny Andy Cortez streamers, but I've been hanging out a lot with the two people I'll shout out that I've been really enjoying is Nesting Dolls on Twitter. Her streams where she just finished, or I think she's finishing Night in the Woods, and now she's trying to find another game. So I believe she started Ori. So you'll appreciate that, Kyle.
Nice.
And then Paradigm on Twitter, he's great. You mentioned it, so I want to say it as well. Paradigm is amazing at showcasing a lot of indie games that I've never even heard of. So if you're looking for cool indie games to check out, Paradigm tries his best to showcase amazing starting up indie games, and it's wonderful.
Good stuff.
So seeing their streams has been really fun to hang out with, and they've got great energy too. So if you're looking for cool indies, there you go.
Check them out. Check them out indeed. All right. With that, let's get on to housekeeping. If you did not know, we have multiple podcasts here at The Whatnauts. You guys can find out more information on our website, thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. Just type in The Whatnauts and all of our shows will pop up right there. If you like what we do, patreon.com/thewhatnauts is where you can support us for as little as $1 a month. We have a $3 tier where you guys can get all kinds of exclusive content. I'm hoping to get our next thing recorded hopefully sometime this next week. I have to let everyone else know from Crossplay and stuff like that and see if we can work out schedules. But we will try to get something new recorded soon and put that up before the end of the month. Let's see, we also have a $5 tier, so thank you, Sam, for helping us out and supporting us. We appreciate it. We love you a lot. Thank you so much for all the help.
Sending all the big love.
Indeed. You can also support us on Twitch at twitch.tv/thewhatnauts. Tier 1 subscription is about $4.99 a month. And if you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. All you have to do is link your accounts, which is super simple. And once you do, you have a free subscription to give out to the streamer of your choice. And we would love for that to be us here at the Whatnauts.
And your first subscription to someone on Twitch is also 20% off. So you can actually subscribe the first time for a slightly discounted price.
There you go. The more you know. But let's see. We would love that to be us, because it costs you no extra cost, but it's free money for us, and that means we can do bigger and better things here at the Whatnauts. So with that, I think I'm going to be starting Breath of the Wild on Twitch.
Yeah, hey.
I think that's the next game that I'm going to start streaming. I put out a poll. It's technically not done by the time we're recording this, but it's been pretty overwhelming that people want me to play Breath of the Wild.
Are you doing 100%?
No, I'm not that kind of gamer. I am not an achievement hunter. Go for all of the stuff. But I am starting with a brand new save, and it's been a while since I played it, and I technically haven't beat it. I did all of the 4 beasts, and then it was like, okay, go fight Ganon, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go play Mario.
See, you gotta go, like, when you play Breath of the Wild, though, like, not 100%, but, like, you gotta get, like, most of the shrines, like, you gotta go for, like an 85%. So you gotta go for, like, the higher echelon of percents.
We'll see. I'm gonna take my time with that one, because that's what I want to stream on Sundays, and then on Wednesdays if I'm on Wednesdays streams and stuff like that. So,
if anyone's curious, Kyle, since you mentioned Breath of the Wild, even if it is overwhelming, What's the other game you were thinking of playing that if you decide to play that after Breath of the Wild, what else could you play as well? What was the other choice?
My second choice was Final Fantasy VII, the original. I
The
have that on
original.
my Switch as well. Never really played it. I played through
Hmm.
the first like 4 hours, which is everything that they covered in the Final Fantasy
Remake.
VII remake, which is why
All
I bought
right.
the game. To like, I should play this game before I play the remake one. And then I was like, wait, it's only the first 4 hours, so that's all I need to do. I was like, sweet, that's all I'll play then.
Well,
um,
hey, I mean, you could do that too, because I mean, you could actually just pick it up. You could play it a little bit in your downtime or anything else, and you could pick it up from where the remake ends and be like, "This is my first experience with all the new stuff specifically." And then you could also time it
yeah.
where whenever part two comes out, you could almost play them almost side by side at some point to be like, "Wow,
So
this is crazily
I
different."
I did play a little bit more than what was in the
Yeah,
remake, because right after that segment when you like get out of uh
Midgar. Yeah.
yeah, when you get out of Midgard, there's kind of this big flashback scene where you learn about Sephiroth and who he is and what happened and some
Wow.
of that stuff. So I've seen that, but it's been long enough that I'm just like, I don't really remember what all that stuff was. And
Wow.
since it's only like the first 4 hours, I should just I'm just gonna
You
start
could burn through it.
start.
I see.
Yeah.
I tried playing the original FF7 like 3 or 4 different times, and the farthest I ever got was breaking into the shitter building where you find out Sephiroth had killed those people, and that's as far as I ever got. I never got
There you
past
go.
that.
There you go.
So
Well, yeah. So who knows? But yeah, that I think will be Breath of the Wild will be what I'm streaming on Sunday tomorrow. Which I guess by
yep,
time you guys hear this, I will have already streamed it.
yep,
So you guys can at least go check the VOD, and I should be up there every Sunday. And
yep,
then every once in a while, you might catch me on Wednesdays playing
yeah.
that as well. So we shall
All
see.
right.
We shall see.
And I'm sure if someone shows up to the stream and wants to get and kind of like help you out and give you tips or advice or where to go or what to do, then come help Kyle out play Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I've played through most of it, so in this one I won't really mind some
Yeah,
backseat stuff, but
yeah.
uh, who knows?
Well, there you go.
Anyways, let's get on to the news of the week, which there isn't much, but there's just like one big thing and then like a couple smaller things. So
Yeah.
let's dive into the news.
Now, I want to just say that I'm pretty sure Ignacio added this first thing.
Yes, do you actually want to save that for new and notable?
Yeah. Well, no, we'll
I
mention
just
it.
left it there.
We'll mention it here in passing. So to shout out Ignacio, who's not here. God bless you, Ignacio.
Rest in
I
peace, Ignacio.
I just want to mention that from last week when Ignacio mentioned the Dragon Ball Z announcement showcase that we got, Ignacio put that Dragon Ball Z Kakarot's third DLC, Trunks the Warrior of Hope trailer was shown off, and it's going to be a new story arc. The previous DLC had been episodes, and it releases early this summer. Again, shout out to Ignacio. The other one I won't mention because it's just kind of Xenoverse 2, but I will mention that Dragon Ball Z Fighters got their final fighter announcement with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta from the GT series, and it had a really cool trailer with the nostalgic music. So check that out, and I believe he's out now already. So go get it,
Oh,
fighters.
I'm not gonna skip over Xenoverse 2 because I think Ignacio
True.
was impressed that it was still being supported because this is an older game, right? This is like a 360
Yeah.
game, right? Which is
I'll look it up. You can read it. I'll look up when it came out.
yeah. So new DLC got announced for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, the Legendary Pack, or Legendary Pack 1 arrives March 18th, with new story content that seems to include parts of Fusion Reborn, Universal Survival Arc, and Future Trunks.
All right. Kyle, when do
I
you
don't know
think
what any of that means. But
when do you think Xenoverse 2 came out?
I'm going to guess sometime in between 2009 and 2013.
You are going too far back. Xenoverse 2 launched October 25th of 2016.
Oh, okay. So
It's older, but it's
old, but not that old.
It's actually newer than I thought it was.
Same here. But yeah, that's not one that I hear about. So it's still just like, still getting DLC. Good for Xenoverse 2.
Well, shout out to Ignacio. And if you enjoy Kakarot, Fighters, or Xenoverse 2, you have all kinds of stuff to enjoy now or coming soon.
There you go.
All right, but now into our actual first news story of the week. Bethesda has officially been bought by Microsoft. This is from Phil Spencer from the Xbox Wire. And today, officially, they completed the acquisition of ZeniMax Media, parent company of Bethesda Softworks. It's an honor to welcome the 8 incredibly talented development studios: Bethesda Game Studios, ID Software, ZeniMax Online Studios, Arcane, Machine Games, and Tango Gameworks, Alpha Dog, and Roundhouse Studios. Whew, what a list. And their passionate global communities to the Xbox family. Now that everything is official, we can begin working together to deliver more great games to everyone. And with the addition of the Bethesda creative teams, gamers should know that Xbox consoles, PC, and Game Pass will be the best place to experience new Bethesda games, including some new titles in the future that will be exclusive to Xbox and PC players.
You go.
So wow.
The deed has been done. It's set. It's final. Microsoft
Bethesda
now
belongs
Bethesda.
to them.
First party studios, yeah.
Wow.
There you go. And we also got some confirmation that a number of their games will be exclusive to Xbox and PC.
Which I'm wondering if it's just going to make every title exclusive, or it's only going to be certain ones that are exclusive that are coming out.
Well, I feel like it's pretty definitive that like new stuff from here on out will be exclusive. However, there is some contractual stuff like Deathloop and stuff like that is still coming to PlayStation. And then I think I saw some scuttlebutt or something about like legacy titles still being cross-platform or coming to multiple consoles and stuff like that. And people were debating what legacy means of like, oh, well, Fallout has a legacy. Does that mean all of the Fallout games will be? It's like, no, that's not what it means. That means older games. So if the game
if they bring back like Fallout 3, it'll be, it'll probably come to both of it because it's already out and it's a legacy game that's already been everywhere.
Right. Yeah. So I definitely think that new games going forward will be exclusive, as they said.
Yeah.
But this is exciting, dude. This is kind of a shot across the bow for Sony. Microsoft still has a ways to go to really be in that like mind share of like, oh, Microsoft first party studios, man, they're great. But these are well-known, well-liked developers and games and stuff like that. And yeah, this is a big purchase for Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know all these studios, but obviously like that's gonna have titles like, the Fallout series, the Elder Scrolls series. Like Arcane is the Dishonored game that makes the Dishonored games, and I believe Arcane's making Deathloop.
I guess that immediately brings us into this next portion of the news here.
Yeah, so the last thing I was gonna mention was Tango. For me, I'm kind of bummed about that because Tango made the Evil Within games that I really enjoyed. So that's a little bit of a bummer. But yes, with the acquisition of Bethesda, the next one is Bethesda has already launched 20 of their games on Game Pass, and this includes games like Dishonored, Dishonored 2, Dooms 1 through 3, Doom 64, Doom Eternal, Elder Scrolls Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim Special Edition, and Elder Scrolls Online, Evil Within, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Fallout New Vegas, Prey, Rage 2, Wolfenstein New Order, Wolfenstein Old Blood, and Wolfenstein Young Blood. Wow, you don't realize how many of their games all have like the same abbreviation with a different tagline at the end.
Old blood, young blood, middle-aged blood.
Dooms 1 through 3, Skyrim, Oblivion, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, Morrowind. You're like, okay.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot of games, and like we were just saying, those are
some big ones.
Games. Yeah, these are great ones. Go play Prey. It's wonderful. Go play Dishonored 1 and 2. They're amazing.
Yeah.
To have Skyrim now on Game Pass, amazing. To have all the to just like
it is
so
it
good.
is a little strange that Evil Within is in here, but not Evil Within 2. The fact that I have everything else, but not Evil Within 2, unless it is in there and we just missed it.
Because I know there's been Bethesda games on Game Pass previously, so it might already be on there. Let me see if I can find it here. I'm opening up Game Pass.
But while you're doing that, I will mention that Xbox's new FPS boost feature is coming to a handful of Bethesda games also, which includes Dishonored Definitive Edition, Fallout 4, Skyrim Special Edition, Fallout 76, and Prey, which is amazing because I know some people like, playing PC and everything else, having an FPS boost to these shooter games that you want that more precise aiming, that's huge to that community of people that you get that extra boost.
Yeah.
I mean, Skyrim, not really a shooter, so like that's a little strange, but still good.
Yeah, I mean, it's still nice to be able to play stuff in like 60 frames or 120 if they can make it work on that stuff. Yeah, so like I think it's just a better playing experience, and I think they just went with the name FPS Boost.
Hopefully this comes to other games, because like Doom would also dramatically benefit from this as well.
Yes, there will be more games coming to that in the future, as well as Game Pass. We know they will put more on down the road, and now all of their first-party games that they make will be on Game Pass date, which is amazing. But I did check Game Pass, and Evil Within 2 is not on there.
Yeah,
but again, I said, it could be on there next month. Could be on there in October when it's spooky month.
It is only a little strange that they have everything else, like the first game and the sequel and all these, but not Evil Within 2. Like that, like being a big fan of those games, that just feels like a weird omission. I don't own an Xbox. I haven't owned an Xbox since the 360, and even then I only owned a 360 because they had that weird deal back in the day where if you bought like a laptop or a PC, you got like this really shitty low version of the Xbox. That's how I owned one. So like I've never really been in the Xbox family, so I have to be the pessimistic one and say this still doesn't make me buy an Xbox no matter what.
You're crazy, Alan.
This doesn't make me buy one.
Like that's the thing with Microsoft that has been a part of the conversation is you still don't necessarily need their console because you have PC. So you can just get Game Pass and still benefit from all of this stuff, right? Like you don't need the console. So I know all the games they announced coming to Game Pass. Most of them were coming to all three versions: the PC, console, and the cloud. There were a couple of them that weren't all three. I don't know which ones off the top of my head there, but still, well,
even then, like this will segue us into our next story. But like the last thing I'll say on it is like even for me being a PlayStation owner, like if I own the PS4 versions, I can play most of these games on my PS5 with the disc version of my PS4 game. So like even then, like. This is a giant win for Microsoft, but this still doesn't really like. It's like Microsoft was like, we need to get up this ladder. So to get up there, they didn't actually climb the ladder. They just got themselves a better ladder. But they need a way.
Did but that's the thing. Like we still really haven't seen the full effect of everything that Microsoft has been doing
Oh yeah.
lately of buying all these studios. Like, we're still waiting on a lot of these games that are going to be this next thing. But once they start to hit, man,
Yeah,
it's going
this
to be like you at least need to have Game Pass on something to
the
like.
well, I'm hoping so. Like for me, Bethesda games, like especially Skyrim and Fallout, like they're known for being kind of glitchy messes. So I'm hoping with Bethesda being solely focused on just Xbox, that hopefully the glitchy quality of their games starts ironing out a little bit more.
Yeah, they do mention that Xbox and Game Pass and stuff like that will be the best places
Yeah.
to play them. So there you go with that one.
Well, congratulations, Microsoft, and I can't wait to see what Bethesda's gonna smack out of there in a couple of years, or even in like a year when they're like, "Hey, this is Bethesda's next sick game." But
Starfield, I think, is their next one.
well, and they have the next Elder Scrolls game that got that little teaser trailer.
Well, I guess if you also count Deathloop.
True, but that's coming everywhere though. That doesn't quite count for that. But moving on away from Xbox, surprisingly, since they're still hard to find, despite that, the PS5 is now the fastest selling console in US history for dollar sales. This comes from Wesley LeBlanc from IGN. They report that the NPD Group released its monthly report covering best-selling consoles, video games, and more for February of 2021 in the US, and Nintendo Switch leads the charge as the best-selling console for the month, with the PS5 behind it in second. However, the PS5 did overtake a record previously held by the Switch when it became the fastest-selling console in US history after the NPD Group tracked, quote, total dollar sales after 4 months in the market. Kyle, how is PS5 selling so well despite the shortages for components and just the lack of availability? These things are flying out every time they're announced to have a stock in.
Yeah, they're still hard to find, but that is both a mixture of like a shortage of parts as well as a really, really high demand, right?
Yeah.
And I think we all kind of saw this coming when they first posted the like, hey, we're announcing the PlayStation 5, and it was like the most liked Instagram post in history.
Oh yeah.
Right. And yeah, like they are they're doing their own just like there's so much that is like, hey, we have this new hot console and everyone wants it. Like there's just, it's mind boggling. I feel like I'm not even making sense. I'm just like bumbling through this of just like like it does not compute. It like PlayStation 5 hot new thing must have.
Like, so like even on my end, like I know people at my work that I have so many people at my work that still kind of ask me about the PS5 and stuff, and I always direct people to be like, hey, you should be on Twitter and follow like GameSpot deals and Wario64 because they post whenever like a stock comes in. And I already own a PS5, so I'm not a part of that demographic that's like seeking one, even though having a second one I would actually want to buy whenever I can. But even when they post links of a stock coming in, like GameStop bundles or anything else,
you have to be right there.
I will still go into it like 1 to 2 minutes after it posts. And I'm not even going to buy it, but I still get there almost immediately and they're already sold out, or the site is still like, hey, you know, you have to wait and see if we're going to get more stock in. Like, we're in March, and even with the demand still pouring them out over the months since its release, they're still not available to everybody. Like, I'll still see people that get lucky to snag one, or some people that are still salty at Sony for not having enough. And like, honestly, if it wasn't for the shortage and everything else, if Sony could keep up with the demand, the PS5 would have easily beat the Switch as well. It's the demand that's holding. Like, imagine if we were not having this crutch on it, how much this console would sell.
Think about.
Like,
this. That's the thing, though. Like, I was listening to, I think it was the Giant Beast cast this week, and they were talking about how kind of the fun of the PlayStation 5 is the hunt for a PlayStation 5. And once you have it, there's not really all that much to play on it. Like, you have Miles Morales, but you don't need a PlayStation 5 to play that. There's Hitman, but
But no, but like,
right,
not even that, like, what are the actual solely PS5 exclusives? Not like two versions. Like, what is only on PS5?
It's Astro's Playroom.
Yeah, it's Astro's, and I believe it's Demon's Souls, and I think that's actually it. I think those are the only games you cannot play anywhere else.
Yeah, so I like
because Miles has the PS4 version, like Immortals Phoenix has a PS4 version, Hitman I believe also has a PS4 version. Like, you still don't even need a PS5 if you think about it, unless you want to play these two games. And while I love Astros, it's still not like oh man, I need 400 or 500 for this one like 4-hour game.
Yeah.
And even if you own a PS3, you can still play the old Demon's Souls, so you don't even need it for Demon's Souls. So it's so interesting that it's because it's new. It's because of these things that people just want it. I mean, and it's just, I mean, having one, it's nice.
It is nice. Like, I do feel like I really lucked out, like being able to get one and get one so fast.
Yeah. I still had to pay a bit over, like, I had to pay a bit over MSRP to get mine because I couldn't get it at shops, but I bought it from my guy for a bit over MSRP, so I still took the hit, but I got it. I'm glad I got it for what I got it, because I saw people being like, hey, $1,100. Okay, funny story really quick about this. I follow the Facebook marketplace for the area that I live in for people and stuff, and I have set tags to follow stuff.
Yeah.
Almost a week ago, I think it was Sunday, after we recorded the last podcast, the next day, I received a notification across Facebook Marketplace that a guy lowered his PlayStation 5 asking price. It didn't tell me the original price, but he lowered it to $800.
Jesus Christ.
And it's like, that's still too much. Like, but people will immediately bite that because you still can't get one. So like, that's still a smart move. Yeah. I mean, if you buy for $800, that's on you. I'm not saying that's wrong. I didn't pay $800, but I paid close to that. But to each their own. But it depends how bad you really want to be an early adopter. You do you.
So we'll see. I'm sure it's gonna break some records in the long run too. Of just like it's it's still going. It's still selling. How is it still selling? We don't know. It's magic.
Do you think the PS5 is still going to be nigh impossible to find come this November, a year from its launch? Do you think it'll still be hard? Do you think you can walk into a Best Buy and find one, or go online and find one?
To be honest, no. Because I feel like it would, I would have thought by this point it would have calmed down by now and would have been like, if you want one, you can get one. You still might have to do a little bit of work, but you can get one.
Yeah.
And because we don't, now I'm thinking like, well, if like thinking about the holidays, they always want to get a surplus out there because they know it's going to sell and stuff like that. So I don't think they're going to have that surplus unless they're somehow also in the back end just being like, hey, just save one of these extra ones for November, right? And we'll just
be like, hey, we have this stock of 100 units, but only like leading up to the holiday, only say we have like a stock of 20. We'll slowly like boil this over.
Just slowly siphon off a small bit so that by the time they do, but I don't know if they're doing that. That's just like a wild speculation thing of maybe, I don't know.
I can't remember the part name. I feel like because of the order from Biden of like that, whatever that part was that is like in low stock or low quantities.
Superconductor or whatever the fuck it is,
Yeah, whatever that is. I feel like the second that issue starts getting resolved, which let's say that gets resolved, say like July, right? Like July or August. The second that stops becoming an issue or that starts resolving, I feel like the manufacturers that make the PS5s are gonna crank those suckers out so fast that's what's gonna make the stock come back.
They will, and you're right, but this part is not only for PlayStations.
It's true.
Like, Biden wouldn't launch an investigation if it was only the PlayStation 5 that was affected by this. He'd be like, "No, fuck you, Sony. You figure it out." Right?
Biden's looking out for the Sony gamers. All right, he's doing that for us.
Yeah. So I mean, like, because it's a shortage that is infecting like the entire global economy, it's like it will help. But that's the thing. It's like maybe you'll be able to find one in stores, but if you find one, that's probably one of the only ones that they have in the store, and someone else probably already reserved it.
Yeah, right? It'll also be like the Nintendo Switch. Like, even if you go into stores now, you do see the Switch Lite, but you don't find a whole lot of Switches in stock either.
Yeah,
so it'll be like, well,
who knows? We'll see.
Well, if you're looking for a PS5, I'm wishing you the best of luck in trying to get one, because when you get one, you'll love it and you'll enjoy it, and it's going to make all those frustrations and pissed off feelings feel so much better. You'll pretty much flip a coin in how you feel once you get one. So I wish all of you luck.
There you go. So it looks like we have breaking news. It looks like there's some kind of a zombie outbreak in Chile.
Is there?
We thought Ignacio was dead, but he's come back to life. So Ignacio, how is this possible?
Hey guys.
Hey. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ignacio, welcome. I assume your dead nap was fun, and it's good to have you back.
Oh yeah, very refreshing. Yeah,
good.
Some would say I was dead. Some other people would say I was on a road trip or traveling.
Well, that's that. I mean, it could be
You've heard it both ways.
It could be similar. You know, you were traveling to the graveyard, and now you've come back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tomato. Tomato.
Well,
we already kind of mentioned the Dragon Ball Z stuff, but we don't really know all about that stuff. So do you want to loop back around and talk about the Dragon Ball Z announcements?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to at least make it to talk about the Dragon Ball Z news. So last week we brought up the fact that Bandai was having an event, a gaming event, but we didn't know exactly what they were gonna do. At the beginning, when we were recording, they were doing some fighters stuff. That's how you say it.
Yes, fighters.
Yeah, they showed off Gogeta Super Saiyan 4, which is pretty cool.
I mentioned it. It had amazing nostalgic music in that trailer.
I haven't watched it actually.
Oh.
Because fighters,
what the hell?
The thing is that with fighters, I know. The thing with fighters is that I played it when it came out. Yeah. I had Fighters Pass 1, but then they kept adding other fighter passes. And by that time, I tried to go back to fighters, but it's not the same. At least when I was playing through the story, I was competent with it. But now it's a whole other thing trying to go back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they did that. I thought that was going to be it, unfortunately, but luckily we got some other news out of it. So the first news was that they revealed the third DLC for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which is titled Trunks, the Warrior of Hope. And this DLC seems to be different than the other one. So the other two DLCs that we got were both inspired. The first one was inspired by Battle of Gods in a way, in quotes. Mm-hmm. And then the second one was based on Resurrection F, which was closer to Resurrection F. But they felt a bit not complete experiences. You can see that those are more like story missions than them adding a new story arc. Especially DLC 1, which was more training you and getting you to a higher level. This one is being talked about as a new story arc. They are differentiating from what we got before. So basically, they are going to do what they did for the other arcs of Dragon Ball Z, but do it now for the Future of Trunks special movie or special. which I think it is pretty cool. Although I do not know how much they are going to get from that special, considering that there are a couple of battles, and those battles are all Gohan and Trunks fighting the androids, so I don't know how much they're going to get out of it. Although I do have to say that it isn't surprising to me, because I do remember playing through the game and thinking they will probably do the Future of Trunks DLC as a DLC. So it is pretty cool that we're getting more Kakarot, but unfortunately it does seem to be, at least for now, the last piece of DLC that we'll get.
Yeah.
In the trailer for it, at the end they do say that the season pass of the game gets you the DLC 1 and DLC 2, which I forgot how they brand it, and then also a new story arc, which is the Warrior of Hope. And also, if you go to the game, since the first DLC, they did section of the DLC part into 3.
Okay.
So unfortunately, signs point to it being 3 things.
All right.
But hopefully we'll see more in the future, because apparently no Dragon Ball Z game is too old to get more DLC, because the second story that we got is that we're getting more Xenoverse 2 DLC.
Yeah.
So if you do not remember, Xenoverse 2 came out, I think, 2016?
Yes.
2016?
We
yeah,
did
2016.
actually look that up, because we were just like, we know this is an old game, but we don't know how old.
It came out earlier than we both thought it did.
Yeah. So funny enough, Xenoverse 1 came out 2015. And then Xenoverse 2 came out 2016. But Xenoverse 2 has been getting a lot of DLC. Not only this one, but they got a full, let's say, launch window of DLC for it. They added a new game mode, which is different from the actual gameplay of the game itself. They added more of a, I don't know if you guys know what the Dragon Ball Heroes games are.
Mm-mm.
They basically added that game into the Xenoverse 2 game, which is a whole, you collect figures of Dragon Ball characters, either in canon or Heroes canon, which is basically fan fiction made reality. And so there's a whole collection aspect to it and a whole competition aspect to it. But they've added so many things. They added just like Fighters, they had a first wave of DLC characters, and then they had like a second wave. And I think they might have had a third wave of DLC characters too. And now we're getting Legendary Pack 1, which seems to be taking aspects from Dragon Ball Super's Universal Survival Arc, and also some aspects of funny enough Future of Trunks story arc. And so they are taking that one and they're doing the whole Xenoverse thing where they are messing with the timeline.
Yeah, because that's the concept of the game.
They're spinning it. Yeah. And also they are adding Janemba to it. And so,
well, yeah, that's what, because Fusion Reborns would also have Gogeta in it, I assume.
Yeah. So I don't know how much they are going to get into Fusion Reborn, because I think we only see Janemba in it.
All right.
But at least for Universal Survival Arc and for the Future of Trunks, we do see more than that. So I don't know how much they'll lean into it, or if just Janemba is going to be an enemy. Not necessarily we're going to get into it and with Gogeta.
Okay.
But yeah,
I mean, I like Gogeta more than Janemba, but that's just personal preference right there.
I mean, of course, yeah.
Of course.
Honestly, Xenoverse is such its own thing. It became its own thing that it is. So there is Dragon Ball proper, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT. There's this whole other area of Dragon Ball, which is Dragon Ball Heroes, which is really, honestly, Dragon Ball fan fiction made reality. You have, I don't know, Goku Super Saiyan Blue versus Goku Super Saiyan 4. You get Vegito Super Saiyan 4. You'll get stuff like that. And so Xenoverse 2 has... Not that much.
Only his eyebrows turn yellow.
You
that's
haven't
it.
read my fan fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah. One day, I mean, they have a lot of characters on Heroes, but yeah, it is pretty cool. Again, the game came out in 2016 and they're still supporting it, even though they Xenoverse, then Fighters came out, and that, of course, we just saw that they are still supporting it, and now we got Kakarot. And so hopefully this means that Kakarot will also get more support in the future. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, it is.
Yeah,
You're talking about my favorite game of all time.
We're hoping for that one.
Yeah. There's still a lot that they could do. Again, they went into the Dragon Ball quote unquote Super movies, but we didn't get anything from Super proper. And so I was really looking forward to seeing them tackle that one.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Hopefully, or maybe we'll get Kakarot 2 in the future. Who knows?
Maybe. I mean, I could see Kakarot 2 being just the story of Super as Super like finishes. Because the manga, I believe, is still ongoing, so I could see it.
Yeah, the manga is still going.
Yeah, I could see Kakarot 2 being way later when Super has like a substantial amount of content to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
also, we haven't gotten any announcements for the Dragon Ball game for this year, and honestly, since a while now, Dragon Ball games have been coming out every year.
Yeah, that's a dangerous path to go down, because they did that a long time ago, and like the games were good, but as they continued, the quality started to drop with every game.
Yeah, but they haven't stopped in a long time. You can go and look at
That's true.
The list of Dragon Ball games, and we have gotten some great games. We've gotten some okay games. But yeah.
All right.
That's all I have on Dragon Ball.
Well, thank you Ignacio, for a more detailed thing on Dragon Ball Z that Kyle and I just... I didn't say too much on it because I never played Xenoverse 2, and I'm sadly, no offense, Ignacio, I'm not a fan of Kakarot's gameplay.
How dare you?
Did you play? Did you watch the cutscenes, or did you play the game? If you played the game, you'd know.
Oh, I love the gameplay. Well, luckily for all of those of you out there who want to try out Xenoverse 2 is free to play.
All right.
They made it free to play at some point.
I did not know that. There you go.
Kyle Ignacio's played Dragon Ball Z Kakarot's gameplay and doesn't see it, so I think it's time to go on to new and notable.
Moving things right along. Well, yeah, that's what we will do. Let's go on to our new and notable section. All right, I'm going to be filling in for Alan since he did the news on that one. And then Ignacio, I was going to do the lightning round. Do you want to do that one when we get there?
I don't care.
Make him do it.
I can go either way.
Make him pull his weight today.
I'm just here to talk about Dragon Ball. That's why I'm here.
All right.
All right. First up on new and notable, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning is out on Switch March 16th. Gino will be excited about that one.
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember when do you remember when Gino and I came on the podcast? Do you remember when Gino was like, "I'm so excited for Kingdoms of Amalur"?
Yeah. And I kept telling
him. He was like,
drunk.
I don't like it.
Yeah, we had a whole discussion about how I didn't think that Kingdoms of Amalur had aged that well.
No.
And Gino was swearing that he was
like, no, it's going to be
good.
Great. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that because I remember Gino being so pumped for that.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Next up, Crusader Kings 3's first paid DLC, the Northern Lords Flavor Pack, is out on March 16th as well. From what I understand, this is not a full expansion, but is more to make the Northern lands more distinct from everything else. I guess hence the name Flavor Pack, which sounds like the thing you get in a packet of ramen. So
all right,
take that as you will. After that, the second and final DLC for the Outer Worlds, entitled Murder on
I don't know how you say that.
On Eridanos, is set to release on March 17th.
Huh.
I think that's
So
right.
I never even heard of that.
Look out for that one. I still have not played that game, but
Me either.
I played, I think, half of the game. And then I stopped.
I think it's on Game Pass. So if you guys are wanting to play it, it's out there. I don't know about the DLC though.
The Outer Worlds is pretty much Fallout. So if you are into Fallout, you like it. If you are not feeling Fallout, which was my case, I wasn't feeling it at the time, you will not enjoy it much.
Yeah, it's from the original creators of Fallout.
No, it's from the people that did Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, I thought it had a lot of people behind the original. Oh well.
Oh, I know they worked on New Vegas. I don't know if they have people that work on the original Fallout games, which were top down.
Yeah, because the original Fallout games were very different from from like Fallout 3 onwards. All those ones.
Since Bethesda got the rights.
Yeah. Next up, Marvel's Avengers is getting its next gen update on March 18th, along with its Hawkeye DLC. And they're changing the XP curve on that, so good luck.
Right,
I guess.
that is this week then the whole XP thing.
Yeah, they're digging their own grave on that one.
Yeah, why can't they get it right? I will try it out. I think that I studied the other one with Kate Bishop. I played, I think, a mission only, but I'll try to go back to it, especially now that they are also releasing it with the next gen update.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they don't add in another bow character and just be the next Smash Bros, where it's like another sword character. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hopefully they still keep adding characters.
Yeah.
Period.
The next Need for Speed game has been delayed to at least 2022, as EA has shifted many of those developers to help DICE finish up their next Battlefield game, which is set to launch this fall. Need for Speed is pumping the brakes.
Just give me the Underground remake and I'll be fine. Just
to be honest, yeah,
just give me that. That's all I want.
If they can do a like full on from the ground up remake of Need for Speed Underground and then make that a platform and like more expansions and stuff on that, golden.
I'm fucking down. I'm there.
That was the one that was just like, that game was so good, and then they just haven't lived up to that one since.
Dude, if they do that, I'll be fried. I'll do the whole shut up and take my money. Like I'll fucking like you want me to pay you now? I'll pay you now.
Need for Speed games haven't been on a good roll.
No, they haven't.
The last games haven't been that good.
Ignacio, it's because they peaked Underground.
Supposedly, their most recent one did okay,
but only okay.
People not liking it much.
It still didn't do great, but it did better than the ones before it. Of like, the ones before it were like really bad, and this one was like, actually, this one is decent. It's not terrible. That's what I've heard, but I haven't played it. So
tisk.
Oh well. Dotemu, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I also heard someone say .emu. As well as Tribute Games and Nickelodeon has announced a brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat-em-up game entitled Shredder's Revenge, and it's in the style of the old arcade games. This was exciting news.
Yeah, people on my Twitter were very pumped about this. They were very excited about this game being a thing.
This is not necessarily a game for me.
Yeah.
But I'm excited that this exists, because if this does well, maybe there will be some more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games down the road. Rockstar, come on. But who knows? I'm hoping that this brings the Turtles back into mainstream games in a big way. So
I mean, everyone else being excited, honestly, makes me excited. So I mean, I hope this game comes out and people love it.
Yeah, and also visually it looks cool.
Yeah.
But you guys are old enough to have grown up with the original ones, right?
I never played them much, but I remember going to pizza joints and they were in there, and I played it every once in a while. But those games were kind of difficult back then.
See,
so,
I remember being
like I remember going far.
I remember going to a pool hall with my parents when I was young, and they had the arcade machines, but I always played the Tekken arcade game, but I had no idea how to play. So I played that. That's what I remember.
Mash buttons. Yeah.
It worked. Hey, it works. You didn't need to put in coins. You just had to hit the button to be like, continue? Yeah, I'll get my ass kicked again.
But that is it for new and notable for this week. So with that, let's get on to our lightning round.
Every week you don't have the new lightning sound effect. I'm going to mention that.
Oh, well.
Kyle doesn't want to put in the word.
Oh.
I
don't. All right, Ignacio, take us through the lightning round.
Okay. So apparently the Legend of Heroes Trail of Cold Steel anime has been announced for 2022.
You can I didn't do that one, so you can just skip that one. There you go.
All right, next one.
That one out. Don't mind me.
Next one. EA has launched an investigation into allegations of developers selling FIFA 21 Ultimate Team items to customers under the table for hundreds, if not thousands of euros. Wow.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense to me. This seems so why?
So here's what I understand this. I don't play FIFA, so I don't know exactly what they're selling or what these things are.
Basically players, as far as I know.
Yeah,
okay.
It's FIFA is one of those games that is riddled with loot boxes and stuff like that. So there are these really, really rare pieces or some things, right? That to get one, you probably have to spend thousands of dollars to get them, if not get the whole set and stuff like that, and thousands of thousands, because it's so rare that you get them.
Think of it as for Genshin Impact, you know how you can roll for random characters that you can get, which everyone has their own ability and some are better than the others. It's, as far as I know, it's pretty much the same for these, where you basically get a random football player, soccer player, which will have its own stats. So, of course, with every other game of its type, people will get into it and try to get the best one that there is and spend all their money, which, since it's FIFA, it gets amplified considering that soccer is a worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you add those two elements to it, and of course, this was kind of inevitable that there will be a market for people to straight up buy them on the quote unquote black market.
Yeah. So that's essentially what's happening, is that someone reached out to a developer, and the developer was willing to credit it to someone's PSN account if they paid them a certain amount and stuff like that. And so that was starting to go around Twitter, and EA was like, yeah, we just launched an investigation into all of this because that should not be happening, and that is illegal or something, who knows what. But wild.
That's crazy.
Because that's the thing. If I were to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on this stuff in hopes to get all of that stuff, sure, it helps EA and the developer, but if Ignacio is the developer, why wouldn't he just be like, I can make a quick $1,000 right now. If I'm just like, hey Kyle, you want one of these right now? Bam.
Hey, you want one? Here you go.
Yeah. So
it's weird.
They got to figure that stuff out.
Well, nice.
Next one we have Face Punch, the developer of Rust, announced a total loss of a large amount of data due to a fire.
Ouch.
Yeah, so apparently there was a server fire in some location, and Face Punch is not the only organization involved. I heard, again, I think from the Giant Beast cast, that this also affected some like French government agency, some like anti-terrorism thing that they had there. But yeah, they somehow lost a bunch of data due to this fire, and it is unrecoverable. So there you go.
Yeah, that sucks.
It does suck indeed.
And lastly, we have a sad one here. Rockstar Leeds founder Gordon Hall has died at the age of 51.
It's sad. That's so young.
It really is. I have not played any of the games that he really put out. I know he was on the like the PSP versions of all of the like GTA games. And
then
stuff like that.
Yeah, Liberty City Stories.
Yeah.
I played that one. I was like, that was my first GTA game.
Well, rest in peace, Gordon Hall.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
That indeed. Well, there you go.
Way
that wraps us up for the lightning round.
Way to make the last news story the bummer one to end on.
Yeah.
You know what? It happens sometimes. That's just how it works out, unfortunately.
All right.
But let's get excited about some stuff, right? This week is a brand new week. Let's focus on that and focus on moving on and being good people. So, Alan, what are you excited about this next week?
I am always excited to stream, but I'm excited to jump into the new version of Monster Hunter Rise to play a little bit more Crash Bandicoot 4 on the PS5 version. And since I am now at Chapter 10 of Yakuza 0, I'm getting a lot farther, so I am very excited to play more of that. Very excited. And I'm thinking of taking...
5 or 6 chapters.
And Amy and I just started season 4 of My Hero Academia, and damn, the show is getting so fucking good. Watch My Hero Academia.
There you go. Speaking of My Hero Academia, we should have mentioned this up in housekeeping, but Alan, you will be joining us tomorrow on the review show to discuss season 1 of My Hero Academia.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We are recording that Sunday morning, so that should be up to the public on Wednesday morning.
Nice.
So be on the lookout.
Check that out. I have been making it a point to watch anime details of the animation of the show. I've been trying to find stuff on the author of My Hero. I'm watching the anime again. And I am also reading the chapters of season 1 in the manga, so I will have info for you if you check it out.
He's coming locked and loaded.
That's right.
Yeah.
Coming in hot, baby.
Good stuff. Ignacio, what about you? What are you excited for this week?
Dude, Friday, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Winter.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier starts.
Winter is coming.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, indeed. Are you going to be joining us on Fridays when we do our reactions to that stuff? It's going to be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be live on Twitch with that stuff.
Ooh, I don't know.
Wow.
Well,
I make no promises.
The invitation stands. If you want to join us, we will be there. We're trying to keep them short to about half an hour. And we are doing one for every single episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited about this week as well, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't know what game on my own time I'm going to dive into this week. But like we mentioned, I will start
Breath of the Wild.
Like I mentioned, I will start streaming Breath of the Wild on Twitch here at twitch.tv/the Whatnauts.
Are you starting from the beginning?
Yes, I'm starting from the beginning. Because my previous save was like, okay, go fight Ganon. But now I'm like no longer used to the controls and all of that stuff. So I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You better practice shield parrying.
Right?
Yeah. Do you plan on fighting Ganon this time?
Oh, he will.
Yes.
He will.
Yeah. My goal is to actually beat the game. So
cool.
There you go.
And all of that can be found at the Twitch channel where you can see all of those things happen.
Indeed. Twitch.tv/the Whatnauts. Besides that, I don't know. I think I might start getting back into The Sopranos because I took a break. I finished Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., their final season.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was good. That was
what
good.
What did you think of the ending of the final episode?
The final episode was good. I liked that a lot. I can't really say I liked this final season, though.
How dare you?
The show had its ups and downs. I liked the show a lot for the most part. I think by the final 2 seasons, they were trying to compete with Legends of Tomorrow, which is also a very, very good show. And it didn't feel the same. It didn't feel like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to me, or what I thought that show should have been. It was still decent. They were still they had a lot of fun. They were time traveling and doing all sorts of stuff with that. But yeah, just by the end there, not my favorite of the seasons, but the ending was still very good. So good way to end the show with that.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, Alan, where can they find you on the internet?
See, with the power of editing. You can find me, at twitch.tv/AzurePKK, or you can follow me on Twitter at Alan Busby, where I'm getting a lot better at talking and interacting with the community. And let me tell you this right now, all of you people that I interact with on Twitter and see your art or talk to you or we share experiences, all of you are amazing, and it's super fun talking with all of you. So hopefully more people follow me or I find more of you, and I can't wait to talk because everyone is a friend already.
There you go. And Ignacio, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Ignacio Rojas B. That's IGNACIOROJASB.
There you go. You guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter. If you guys want to stay up to date with all of the shows that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at the Whatnauts on Twitter. So go like, share, subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that. And that wraps us up for this episode of Crossplay. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.